Morning, Steve Freddie in Chicago. Well, it's Christmas Eve and I hope everybody has a great holiday. Overnight prices are a little bit lower. Yesterday, beans broke on a forecast in Argentina. It looks a little wetter for next Sunday through Tuesday. Interesting to note that this morning that front looks a little drier for Argentina, but the forecast for the next 2 weeks in Argentina suggests that 60 to 70% of their areas could see normal rain. For Brazil, the situation looks normal except for parts of central Brazil, which actually is getting too much rain. So we'll have to kind of watch that pretty close. Here in the United States, we're cold. The next 2 to 3 weeks forecast suggests we're going to remain cold. Just a light precip amount that moves across the Midwest, but nothing heavy at this point in time. But the theme will be that temperatures will be cold. As far as what the market's looking ahead, in the beans, the number one thing is South American weather. And also, once they get closer to harvest, especially Brazil's logistics to move beans out on a timely basis. In the beans, also, we're looking at China demand. They continue to take more beans to date than they did last year at this time, and will that pace continue? How much will they take from the United States, and how smooth will the transition be to South America? We really don't have a lot of extra beans to sell them for February, March if something happens in Brazil, and that could tighten up the situation. Beans also looking at domestic meal basis levels near record high levels, and that supports the nearby beans. Beans also looking at January 10th USDA report, in which the government may not change the crop that much. They could increase demand a little bit and lower the carryout a little bit, leaving the market vulnerable for bounces if something happens in South America. Moving ahead to 2014, we expect more bean acres in the United States, which could mean lower prices if we have normal weather. In the corn, just two factors. Number one, the index funds rebalance in January. They come in and buy 80,000 contracts of corn. Will that help corn bounce over resistance? And number two, after they rebalance, looking ahead for 2014, will we have normal weather? And will the USDA January 10th report add to the 13th supply, which all suggest prices work lower? Wheat prices continue to sink lower. There's not a lot of good news in the wheat market, even though our export demand is good and we're tightening up our old crop situation. Globally, there's a lot of wheat. In 2014, there looks to be a good wheat crop. So all those things suggest markets could go lower. As always, these are my thoughts, not those of ADM and ADM Investor Services. Have a safe, profitable, and happy holidays.